The first round of U.S.-Iran talks in Oman produced no breakthrough. Neither side has signaled any shift from its opening position. Both sides have agreed to meet again, but without a date. As diplomacy is in limbo, threat of a war is growing. Iran has ruled out giving up uranium enrichment, insisting it will not be intimidated by the threat of war. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has expressed doubt that the U.S. side is taking renewed negotiations seriously. Iran has issued notification to carry out ballistic missile tests. The IRGC has escalated its psychological warfare campaign. An AI-generated propaganda video depicts a catastrophic attack on the USS Abraham Lincoln. The video shows Iran's Fatah hypersonic missiles splitting the massive carrier in two, sending F-35 fighter jets and crew members into a fiery sea. In another warning, a banner unveiled in central Tehran's Palestine Square threatens ballistic missile striking on Tel Aviv and other targets. The map marks key sites of attack. U.S. has also not ruled out military action. U.S. President Donald Trump described the talks as very good and said Iran wants a deal very badly, but he added, they know the consequences if they don't make a deal. The consequences are very steep. All right, joining us live from Casablanca, Morocco is Hafid Boutaleb, geopolitics and international relations analyst at the AOB Group. Hatif, welcome back to WION and good to talk to you. Can the United States and Iran agree to a deal given the red lines drawn by both sides?
Of course, they still can agree on a deal. What the Iranians ask is to spare their ballistic program, and the core demand on the US side is targeting mainly the nuclear capabilities of Iran, and secondary, of course, the ballistic capabilities. So in terms of a possible potential common ground, it is still possible. However, there is a context. The context is that there was an unprecedented repression carried by the IRGC, the Islamic Republic Revolutionary Guard, who killed dozens of thousands of people. And I think for this very reason, it is not fair to rule out a strike targeting the Revolutionary Guard barracks. And so I still don't totally rule out the strikes over Iran, because Donald Trump would seek a kind of a revenge for the Iranians for him ensure his allies and main donator in the United States that he is still standing against the regime in Iran and in favor of the population. But so far, I think that both sides deeply want to reach an agreement. If there are strikes, it would be, and I think they still might be strikes. They would be not very very heavy. It would be light strikes, and the Iranians would set back probably on some missiles used in their arsenal. But it is today too early to judge what would be the reaction of Donald Trump. We know that Donald Trump loves the surprise effect, so he might be preparing something and hiding behind these headlines in the media, in waiting for the right moment to strike. Probably this is something we get used to with Donald Trump.
And what are the consequences for both sides if there is some kind of military strike on the part of the United States, or Iran decides to preemptively strike U.S. bases or even Israel? What will be the consequences for both sides?
Well, just to say before answering the question, one of the main arguments brought by Iran is that abandoning the ballistic program and the nuclear program are existential threats. And Iran, now replying to your question, answering your question, Iran has always pointed out that in case of existential threat, they would act in accordance with this Middle Eastern might with Samson, who meaning that if they die, they will take everyone with them, which means that if they are in existential threat, if the mullahs' rule over Iran is really threatened, it means that the Iranians will unleash the revenge and will target everyone in the region. What I can understand is the same regime has no problem in targeting existentially other countries in the region and advance as argument the existential threat. If Iranians want to live in peace with the neighbors, they have also to stop threatening the countries in their very existence in their hinterland, like what happens from here. I am based in Morocco, as you know, and Iran poses a serious existential threat. And the Senator Ted Cruz has last week pointed out that the collusion between terrorists in Sahel and Iranians. So, of course, what Americans should say and should answer to these, to Abbas Araghchi, for example, is that if Iranians want to have a peaceful relationships with the world, they have to behave peacefully as well with all single states and countries and entities in the region, and stop targeting them in whatever. So to be honest, the Iranians, yes, always threatens unleashing the storm in the Middle East, but they are also among the countries that are deeply involved in destabilizing the region. And if they go further, of course, they will be the biggest loser, obviously, because all countries will rally against them. But so far, it's not the case. The Gulf countries still look for a settlement between Iran and USA, which is quite surprising. There are Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and even apparently the Emirates quite aligned on this vision, and they want Iran, of course, and USA to find a settlement so they preserve the Persian Arab Gulf from any impact, like a sustainable impact that would threaten their very existence as well.
Running out of time, so I gotta cut you off.
Okay, thank you very much, Susan. Thank you very much.
We'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much.